Now welcome to your beautiful home. Hi, this is Jake Bautista. I'm a licensed real estate broker in Metro Manila and welcome to a MetroGuide Realty open house tour. So today we're going to take a look at this 5-bedroom house and lot located here near Commonwealth Avenue, Quezon City. And just to give you a background, it has a floor area of approximately 378 square meters and a lot area of about 240 square meters. So you see it has a grand and modern facade with 3 levels. And we're gonna explore this house today with you. Let's go! And if you want to know more about our future videos, you can click that subscribe button and you can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. So upon entering the house, you have a carport area for 2 vehicles. On the right side, you have access leading towards the service area in the back of the house. So you can walk all around this house in terms of access. And you have these steps leading up to the main entry. I just want to take a look here. So this house just finished construction, so pardon if you see some construction materials, they're gonna get cleared out. And you have access here once again towards the back of the house. So the other side was tiled and this side is already landscaped, so you have some greenery here. This room serves as a storage room and it can also serve as quarters, but honestly, for me, this would better serve as a storage room. Now, on an added note, there's a slight drop off here, so I would recommend if you're getting this house, we can potentially include like a small barrier here just for safety. Now welcome to your beautiful home. This is one of the houses that once you come in, you're welcomed by an open-planned living and dining area. So this area here serves as your living space. You see it has a very minimalist and modern feel. You have white walls and white ceilings all around, and this is where you can have your sofa. In terms of the placement, this is where you can have your television set. Another nice point is the high ceiling. I'm about 5 foot 10 inches in terms of my height, so this is easily about 9 to 10 feet in terms of the height of the ceiling. And on this side, this is where you can have your dining area. You can have a table here for 6 people. I'd also like to note that the dining area is located at the corner of the house. So you have these 4 windows stretching all the way at the side of the living and dining area. So it's very well lit. But what really gives so much light to the space is this large sliding door leading out to a patio area and your side garden. So before we head on out, I'd just like to point out you already have a screen door here. So here you have a patio space. And here's another perspective. You see that it's a nice patch of greenery and they really maximize the 240 square meter lot. And if you walk around on this side, you have these steps leading to the front of the house. Really nice greenery here. And of course, we just have some construction items that are gonna get cleared out. And you see that this is spacious enough and it's covered so that you can have a table here and make this a nice coffee nook and potentially an open air area to entertain guests. Now walking over here, this entire space, you can make this a laundry area, but potentially this is also ideal if you want to hang clothes. If you were to purchase this house, I would recommend potentially having a barrier on this side so that you can have guests on the other side, but you can have your clothes hanging here. We'll explore the other side once we go through the kitchen. There. So from this perspective, you see once again how open the entire space is. We'll check out that room later before we go up. But now, from your dining area, let's take a look at your main kitchen. So this isn't one of your kitchens which has an open design. So it's really closed off as a separate room, but that has its pros as well, especially if you're doing heavy cooking. You don't have those smells and even smoke, especially if you're doing heavy barbecues going into the dining and living space. In terms of the design, this whole area is very, very well lit and it has a very elegant feel because the theme is almost monochromatic in terms of the very off-white colors but textured colors of the cabinetry. It really blends well together, and if you have some items here, they're really gonna pop out in terms of the design. So you have your area here where you can have your stove. You already have a provision here built in for your range hood. So you have ventilation ready already. You have once again a large window, which is a must, especially if you're in a kitchen. You want to have plenty of light, plenty of air. You can open this up. You have a double sink already here that looks very heavy duty. And this is already a solid countertop area all the way here. And on this side, this is where you can have your refrigerator. Okay, let's take a look at the side area here towards the side of the property. So this is your service area. You see that you have access going to your parking space here. You have another tiled sink space. This is for heavy duty washing, and you already have a faucet on this side so you can have your washing machine here. A lot of people, when they buy houses like this, afterwards they sometimes even add polycarbonate roofing so that this area can be covered. Another idea is you can potentially put another barrier here. The gate is almost very solid in terms of the design, so people can't really peek that much into the house, but just for added safety, just for added security and privacy, you can potentially add another gate here. So I make those suggestions based on my experience on our clients who get houses. And what you have here is the maid's room. So this room has its own bathroom. We're not going to go in because there's a lot of items inside, but it can very comfortably fit one person and even potentially have a double bunk space. So you have plenty of pantry space in all around. I'd also like to point out this is where you have your circuit breakers also. Okay, now we're done with the living, dining, and kitchen spaces. Let's now take a look at your first bedroom. You could consider this a bedroom, but you could also consider this as a den space. I'm calling it a bedroom because if you're looking to maximize the property and have someone really live here and sleep here, you can do that. You have this sliding glass door, but you can easily close this up by having curtains and giving more privacy to the occupant. But if you want to make this a den space, you can just imagine having another area here where you have a couch or even some work tables as a work from home office space, but it still feels very open because of the glass but you have the privacy also. So when you open this up, you have this big entire console area. This is why I was saying this can be used as a bedroom, because you already have built-in storage here in terms of closet space. And you can have a large TV here. Make this, I can imagine having an L-shaped sofa here and just plopping down here at the corner and watching TV here. And it's very well ventilated. You have this large sliding window, which gives you access, which gives you ventilation at the side of the house. Okay. Now, in terms of the ceiling height, it's almost still consistent. It's coffered. When I say coffered, that means there is a difference in terms of the ceiling height here, so that there's a rectangular design. And it also blends very well with the lighting. You don't have a big central light here, which makes the whole lighting very distributed and elegant instead of having like one strong light source. But it's up to you, especially if you're getting your own interior designer. They have their own lighting suggestions, which are of course coming from a professional. You have your first bathroom, and I'd like to point out that if you remember the kitchen space, it had a very cream and off-white color combination, and you still feel that design aesthetic up to here in the bath space. So that gives you a feeling of cohesiveness throughout the entire property. And you see that in terms of the lighting, you even have an indirect lighting source at the ceiling area. And from there, let's now take a look at the second level. Now, in terms of the staircase, you have one landing area there. You have a thick wooden boards here. In terms of the design, this isn't really colored. This is more like varnished, natural look in terms of the staircase. I sometimes personally favor that because it's easier to maintain over the years versus having like the really painted wooden finish. So this is another great part of the house. You have a second living space here. This is excellent, especially if you have a lot of guests or family over, or you really have your own group of friends or other activities. The ground floor is one amenity area. This is a second amenity area. And there are some family hallways that are just, it feels forced because it really feels very small, but this is a legitimate dense space in terms of the size. As I stand here in the corner, you can really see it. And you see that you can have an entire sala set in this space. Now, let's take a look here at the primary bedroom. So usually the master bedroom or primary bedroom is the biggest room in the house, but there's actually another room which is bigger than this, but of course it doesn't have a master walk-in closet. We'll take a look at that at the end of the tour, but in terms of having a primary room with a large bathroom, this is the top room in the house. You have laminated flooring, and it has a very nice color combination and complements the white walls and the darker baseboard nicely. The darker baseboard matches the doors. And it's a corner room, so you have a lot of natural light. I really like how they maximized the corner area by making this completely glass. And on this side, you have a spacious balcony. So this is a spacious area, and what's really nice about this community is you can jog here, it's pet friendly. This is the type of community you can walk out after midnight and you feel very safe. And another nice point here is this balcony wraps around the corner of the house and you have an additional space here. So it just rained recently, that's why we still have a bit of water. You know, whenever you see some points like this, all of this can easily be fixed in terms of just the leveling of the tiles. If there's a wet spot in the area, all of that can easily be handled very quickly. And see, so it's a nice quiet space. You can make this a nice open air area where you can have a table, and it's also protected in terms of the view from the street, so you can literally be sitting here and no one would know while they're passing by down there. Okay, so you see again the tile really complements the rest of the house, giving you a lot of contrast. And here you have the walk-in closet and bathroom. So this is quite spacious. You have large windows here, plenty of storage space, and on the other side you have your corner tempered glass shower enclosure. Really nice design here, complements even the finish of the actual shower head. And you have a double mirror, double sink space, lots of storage here. Because sometimes, you know, the cabinet makers, they just make it two big ones. But here, they really even put in the time to make these smaller ones, smaller compartments. Because, you know, especially in the bath space, a lot of people, they want to have different areas for different kinds of toiletries and items. So that's a nice touch. So we've taken a look at 2 rooms now, and it's time to take a look at the 3rd room and the 4th room. So here we have the 3rd bedroom. It's a corner room. So what you have here is a provision for a window type air conditioning unit. But some people, they prefer a split type air conditioning unit. So if you want to purchase this house, we can easily have this covered up. So don't worry about that. And I'd also like to point out, you can see from this how thick the wall is, which is very important because that adds to the structure of the house as well. Now from here, you have a view of your cabinetry. So you see it's consistent. You have these lighter earth tones which match well with the flooring, with the baseboards, with even the kitchen and the bathrooms, and also match well with the doors. And you have a solo bathroom here. So another great thing about this property is there are no shared bathrooms. Meaning, especially if you're coming here, for example, you have 3 or 4 or even 5 occupants, everyone will have their own space and privacy. Here we have the 4th room. Now the 4th room is also a corner room, but in terms of size, the last room is slightly bigger. But this room really makes up for it because it's placed in the corner, giving you a lot of light. You know, corner rooms always look much bigger because of multiple windows. and they feel, in terms of ventilation, more airy, more bright. And you once again have built-in space here. You even already have a console area here. Really nice touches in terms of the storage. And I like that they even made sure to have these two pin lights here to emphasize this space. And here you have your fourth bathroom. So, design is consistent, materials are the same as the other rooms, as the other bathrooms. You even have that recessed area where you can have your toiletries beside the shower head area. Okay. And now, here's one of the most unique parts of this house, the third level. So this is an excellent space if you're looking to really expand in terms of having more rooms for your family, having more family space, even if you want to have an area to just go out and bike and jog. So the staircase winds around the corner of the house. So this is a great design because since it winds around the corner of the house, the designer was able to put these large windows, giving you another entry point for the light to come into the house. Windows in staircases are a great idea because they give you light, but they give you privacy, because sometimes you don't even need to put curtains there, because if someone from the street looks, all they can see are stairs. And here you have the fifth room. This fifth room is essentially a large entertainment space. You see that it's of course accentuated by this large sliding door and window. I'd also like to point out that the ceiling is already slightly slanted because it's already following the design of the roofing. But in terms of the height, it doesn't get uncomfortably low. And another great idea here is, once you come in, if you really want to turn this into like a more private room, you can potentially close off this area, add a door, and make this an additional storage space, or even a space where you just have some displays, just to add additional privacy to this area. Because even if you close this off, look at how huge it is. And on this side, it even has its own bathroom also. So if you just need 3 or 4 rooms, you can maximize this by making this a additional entertainment space. So if you add up the ground level living space, the second level, then living space, and you make this one another living space, you have multiple amenity areas for this property. And this is one of our favorite parts of this house. The designer was really able to maximize the third level by having this balcony space. You can imagine having a table, a couple of chairs over here. You also have a lot of privacy also because the street is really a quiet residential space. You even have some vacant lots nearby. And you also have a great view of the rolling hills past there, and even a view of the mountains. So this makes it such a relaxing and harmonious home. If you want to know more about this property, you can contact us through our email and number in the description below. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Once again, my name is Jake Bautista from MetroGuide Realty. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to bring you clarity, quality, and convenience in finding a great Metro Manila home for you and your family.
Contact us today in the email and number shown here to schedule a property viewing. You can also click the description below for the property details. Don't forget to click that subscribe button so that you can get notified of our future videos. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to bringing you and your family a great Metro Manila home.